Stephen, you lead us in a short prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, be with us today as we deliberate the business of the county. Help us, Lord, to keep in mind your wishes. It's best for the residents and the taxpayers of Adams County, Lord, and help us to do things that are both in keeping with that and in keeping with your will. I ask all these things, Lord, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Tony, you're big.
You're on TV. Oh my gosh, look at that.
There we go. Dan, I need Dan to come up to be on video with me.
Yeah, saved us all. I don't know if anybody got any sleep last night or if everybody's up watching election results, but, so, we had a big night last night anyway. So, if you've had a chance to look at the minutes from October 29th, 2024, if you got any questions, corrections?
Motion approved.
Second.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
What's that?
We got a dragon in the basement. I think there.
What is that?
Sounds like a power washer. Something getting
Oh.
around.
Oh, I thought maybe they were dragging.
What's underneath us?
What is it?
There's something underneath.
That's spooky.
Hey, Dan, you want to go?
This boiler room.
Over there?
Yeah.
Doing something over here. Oh, they are. They're trying to
It might be working on there.
But that's it.
That's why it's gurgling.
Okay.
Yep, we are ready for the audit.
First thing I have is Allied Weekly Health Insurance claims. I did verify the claimants. And all of this is medical, and it's in the amount of $35,328.25. $35,328.25.
Okay, any questions on that?
Sign that if you would. I forgot to stamp it. Yeah, I can say.
Motion approved.
Second.
Okay. Motion carries to approve the claim as presented.
Okay. Next, I have payroll claims. The payroll claims are in the amount of $372,951.99. $372,951.99.
Any questions?
No.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion carries to approve payroll claims as presented.
Okay. You all should have received the payroll time card approval for the time card for appointed department heads. You should have received that. So I have that to be approved.
Okay, you guys take a look at that.
Just did.
Any questions?
Motion approved.
Second.
Thank you.
And that will be all that I have until treasurer comes up. And if Ed is unable to make it down, I will present his treasurer's report later.
All right. Nate, what do you have for us today?
Couple of different items. Sorry. Looks like a lot, but there's pictures, so. First item here is culvert 53. This is on 100 South between 5 and 600 East. There was a crash at that structure on October 28th. Driver ran off the road, ended up striking the curb and the bridge railing there. You can see some of the damage that was done on the backside. That's probably the most dramatic photo of what they did. Culvert is still safe to cross for legal loads, but the railing must be replaced. JSE, who does our small structure inspection, I've got a couple representatives with that firm here right now today. They came out Tuesday immediately following that notice, so we were able to go through and do a review. That's where the photos came from. JSE, Shane Keller, and myself were both recommending removal of that concrete guardrail. Repair the damaged concrete on that curb coping and installing a side attached guardrail with attenuators. So it'll kind of bring it up to the current standards, and we'll just do it on the damaged side. This being an emergency repair, I am going to ask for the commissioner's permission to treat it as such and then take it as a time and material to a contractor, kind of foregoing the quoting process for this because of kind of the need to get this on a schedule and get this done as soon as I can. Best estimates, if I recall, when I ran the area, I mean, there's about 8,000 pounds of concrete hanging from the rebar right now. If you look at the photos, there's actually gaps, so it's actually bent the steel on those bars. There's no repairing that section. It's got to just come off, unfortunately. But
So no structural damage to the deck or the abutments?
it appears that it's just that area, that coping curb that were spalled off due to the impact. It is a significant impact. Real high rate of speed for the driver. Thankfully, my understanding is that they did survive the crash. So, but
All right, so we need to take action as far as making this an emergency repair.
yeah, just declaring that as an emergency repair for me, then I won't be challenged as far as continuing to work out as time and material.
Okay,
I'll make that motion.
Second.
okay, very good.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And thankfully he's okay. And that's why we're looking at doing safety projects that type and others elsewhere. So it did its job, thankfully. Had he not had anything there, it would have ended up spearing himself into the bank on the other side and maybe not been so fortunate. So second item, Bridge 58. That's the project that Milestone is doing out on 5 North, just east of 4 West, Peterson area. They started on Monday with milling of the concrete bridge deck. Yesterday, they did go through and do a hydro demo, so all that equipment has come and gone. I went out there yesterday to sound the bridge and mark out some areas that they still need to hand chip. I did stop out again this morning before I came into this meeting, and they're well on their way as far as doing removal of the, there's an overlay dam, so they've got to chip the edges on both approach sides, so they're working on those. And we'll need to do a little bit of flowable fill work on the approaches. There's nothing underneath the chip seal right at the edge of the bridge. So that we found out.
This bridge is closed for about how long?
Right now this month. So my plan is that will be done before Thanksgiving with it. Things are looking fairly good with the weather, so, but I don't want to give anybody false hope as to when this will be open any earlier than that. So.
Okay.
Next item is just an update on Bridge 150 over the Wabash. This one was the one I received quotes for dealing with some of the groundhog damages. So I put this out for proposals. I asked for 4. I got 2. One contractor called me back, said they missed the email when it came up and they would like the chance to do those again in the future. So obviously it wasn't for a lack of interest. It just, they just missed it when the email came through. 2 proposals, one from Milestone and one from Pioneer Associates. And I am recommending to accept the quote from Pioneer Associates for $11,150 to do that work. It'll be they will end up pumping flowable fill to fill a void created by the groundhog, and then also install a concrete curb along the approach slab with extensions down in the ground. So it'll make it very difficult for them to tunnel underneath that approach again. It does only address one side, but this is the first time I've used this detail. In fact, it's a custom detail for us to try to address the groundhog. So, and this one's a busy road, a lot of truck traffic on it, and it's a fairly extensive void. We're looking at somewhere between about 15 yards of excavation that this groundhog is done underneath the approach.
Any questions? If not, I accept a motion to approve that proposal for $11,150 to Pioneer Associates.
And I'll give the quotes to Tom, so he's on the record.
So moved.
Bridge 27, this is the project that Butler, Fairman, and Seifert is working on for federal funds. BFNS has provided me with a supplemental agreement for geotechnical services. The reason that they have a supplement is that it's been determined beneficial to replace the pilings as part of the project. NDOT has told us that we're allowed to do that, so the scope changed. It was not in their original scope to replace the pilings, so I am going to have some testing done. I reviewed the supplement. It just amends the current agreement that we have with BFNS. It's for $16,192, and that will just come out of the consultant services line of our budget. So it'll move their fee from $91,300 up to $106,492.
Was that something they missed right at the start?
No, it's just a change in scope. So we were looking at this fully as a rehab. It is 50-year-old pilings. There's money enough in the budget to allow that. NDOT's allowing us to expand that scope to include that. So it's something naturally would have had to have been included, but was not when we started. So.
Okay. All right. Any questions on that? If not, accept a motion to approve that change.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion carries.
And then lastly, culvert 113, this is just a small structure out on 550 North. Luganville went out and reset 2 concrete pipes that we had that have actually worked their way open. I'd have another picture, but I didn't want to make this thing 2 pages long. But the concrete pipes essentially just freeze walls, opened up about 2-inch gap between 2 of the pipes, and it was essentially causing suck holes in the roadway for a while. So he dug it out, reset those 2, added a mastic and a felt over the joints, reset them, and then put a concrete block as a foundation on the outlet end to stop it from sinking out into the plunge pool. So that was done on Monday, and they closed the road for part of the day, and that work done. So just little updates for you on some of the maintenance and projects we have. Any other questions for me?
I don't have any others.
Appreciate
All
it.
right,
Thank you.
very good.
Thanks, Nate.
Thank you. All right, Brad, what do you have for us? Or Brad and Paul?
Brad and Paul, hey.
That's right.
Actually, not much for me. We're done mowing and out grading Stone Road today. So that's a good thing. We finally got enough rain to get out and get on.
I was gonna say that rain should have helped you.
It helped. And we'll find out by the end of the day. And other than that, like I told you, we're waiting on weather and getting dirt firm. So burn the edge of the road. But other than that, now we got some equipment.
I'll start with an update with you. We had ordered, you guys gave us approval and able to order a single axle dump truck. Brad may have updated you on that. Selkings has called and pushed that back. It was supposed to be built in December. Now it's March or April or sometime. They don't know due to all the electric truck stuff.
That was that one we said because a lot of the states are trying to get all the diesels before they have to start buying electric.
Right.
So they pushed a lot of everybody else back. Those states are taking priority.
I have a feeling that might be over now.
Yeah.
Hey,
Anyway, on to the next. I'm actually come in to ask for permission to do 2 different things. I'd like to go to bid with your permission to get a new distributor to replace the one that we've been having trouble with the last couple of years. Be new chassis, new everything. Looking somewhere around the total of $420,000 for the
This
total
is,
package
this is if we can get it, bid out this year. Obviously, we wouldn't get it till next year
or later.
or later. We don't know right now.
Just trying to get my name in line, basically.
how wide is that distributor? Is that?
It'll be a variable width, but it'll go from 12 to 24 feet.
Basically, just like the one we have.
It'll be exactly the same as we have, just new technology, new unit.
The old one actually, all the troubles I've been updating you guys on. The old one actually, it's still the same chassis. What year do you remember?
It's a 92 chassis.
It's a 92 chassis and it's had 2 different bodies on it. So this time we would like to just do the whole thing. be done with
Is,
it.
does that have a capability? I know, I think it was up in LaGrange where they have a lot of Amish. They were able to block it out and just
Yeah.
resurface
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can
the
do,
troughs.
Yeah.
each sprayer covers a foot, so we can block it off in foot increments anywhere across.
And I don't know if that'd be an advantage or not.
Well, we try to do buggy troughs, in the spring when we start patching, they'll go down and spray a 3 or 6 foot pass down the buggy trough, and then they can come over with the stone trucks and just back the stone on instead of having the chipper box out there putting stone chips down. So we do try to exercise that. It gains us a little.
They're gonna go-
When you're trying to add 4
Yeah.
inches and you're adding a half inch or 3/4 at a time,
And
it
goes
helps, but it doesn't fix the
The
problem.
same old story, the stone is only gonna last about a couple of weeks now.
Yeah. So what do you think as far as a new spreader? Because that would come out of the 25 budget. Do you have
Yes.
that in the 25 budget?
Yes, and I'll just give you a little bit of a tidbit, something we learned this year. When the State Board of Accounts was in, they called us with some questions, and I'm not even sure how it come around. You can actually, we can take the funds out of MVH restricted, which is normally you don't buy equipment out of. But if that piece of equipment is dedicated to being on the road only, working on the roads only, you can take an MVH restricted.
Really?
Yes, we do have the funds. We just learned that this year. It's like dump trucks, graders, that's questionable, but this year is, you can. So yes.
Good.
Otherwise, it would have been another year before we would ask for
Yeah,
this.
because that basically takes our whole equipment budget.
Yeah.
Is there any trade-in value to the old one?
It'd be minimal, I would
How
get.
much do you want to give us?
What's it weigh?
Yeah. Throw in a couple of V-plows and we'll talk.
Okay. We
Hey.
can put a V-pile on the front of one for you.
Anyhow.
Anyway,
All right, what do you guys think?
Motion to approve, allowing them to take that to bid.
Okay. Motion carries.
the next thing I have is, the truck chassis that is at W.A. Jones being built. We're planning on picking that up next Tuesday or Wednesday. They're done with it already, which is impressive. So I would like to ask permission to go ahead and go to bid for the equipment on the chassis that we have in the shop, so the next tandem axle dump truck. Last year, that one came in at about 170,000 to have it built. The next one, I'm assuming will be close to that because it's not going to have a wing blade on it, so I'm hoping that it absorbs the price of inflation. And that is in next year's budget as well.
We'd already planned on this one.
Yeah.
We didn't plan on the distributor when we found out. So this one was already in the works. And it's for the chassis we have sitting in the garage.
Right.
You guys thankfully allowed us to get ahead of time before all this other stuff happens, which it might change.
So this 170,000 is just the chassis, it's not.
No, this is all the accessories, so it'd be the belly blade and the dump
Okay.
body and the sander and salt spreader and the front plow, all that stuff. We have the chassis sitting there from what you guys have approved us earlier on. So,
Motion approved.
Second. All right, motion carries.
that's all.
Any questions for us? No, that's.
Good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see, Rick here. Did Ed take off? Ed walked in.
Ed said he was not coming back for Tony to do that.
I have it then.
Okay.
I handed to each of you, as well as to the press, the monthly county treasurer's report. So we would need entered into the book.
Make a motion to enter that report into the record.
Second. Okay, motion carries. Thank you for presenting that, Tony.
You know, while it's the treasurer's portion, Stan, we might want to mention, so that can be put in the minutes and so forth, Ed had sent an email to employees that during tax time, he would like, if they would, to try and find other parking to allow taxpayers room to park out here when they come to pay their taxes. There's a lot over across the wellness center, maybe over here across the street by the library, wherever that might be. As much as possible, if employees could leave that open for taxpayers.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be-
Shannon, is that something you could get an email to employees to avoid parking in the north lot during tax collection season?
Yeah, Ed did do it. Ed did send one last week.
Yeah, he did.
I just wasn't here, so I think he just did it.
You know, and if we have employees that are handicapped or disabled in any way that need to park close, obviously that's outside of this, but otherwise, I think we need to keep that during the busy time, to keep it clear. So, thank you. All right. Mark, did you want to do farm bids now, or you want to wait till you're?
It's up to you. What is it?
It's the next on the agenda if you want to.
Yep, we can do it. All right, so we published notice to receive bids for the cash rent lease of the county farm ground located out by the jail. It's approximately 82 acres. And we had 2 written bids submitted. So we'll open those up. And this is for cash rent lease of that ground, to farm that ground for the next year. And then it also allows for 2 additional 1-year extensions on the same terms in the discretion of the county. And only those individuals who have submitted a written bid here before this meeting will be allowed to increase their bid here in a minute if they want to. So I'll just open up the bids that we received. First bid is from Andrew Schaefer. His address is in Monroe, and his opening bid is $175 per acre. Andrew's here.
Is that S-H-A-F-F-E-R?
S-C-H-A-F-E-R, is that right? How you spell it, Andrew?
S-C-H-A-E-F-E-R.
S-C-H-A-E-F-E-R, yeah. When we get it right, Eric. All right. And the second bid is from Doug Fosnaw. His opening bid is $150 per acre. And Doug is here, I believe. Doug's back here. So, at the present time, then the high bid is with Andrew Schaefer at $175 per acre. I'd entertain any additional bids at this point in time. Mr. Fosnaw, do you want to raise your bid?
How much you making as a raise, you stuff,
$5 increments.
and 180.
180, so we got 180.
Oh, you just, we pay taxes too, right?
That is correct. The lessee pays taxes. So we got 180. Mr. Schaefer, do you want to raise? 180? 185. So we got 185, 190, 190. Got 190. Going once. Twice. 190. All right.
Which one had,
What's that?
which one had the?
Mr. Fosnaw, $190 per acre. And we'll show that going to you. I'll prepare the lease and get it sent out to you. I think we've got your email address. I think we'll
Just send the mail.
mail it.
Yeah.
Okay, just to the address that you have here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Thank
we
you.
thank you, gentlemen, for coming in and bidding on it.
Do they need to take action to approve that bid?
Yes, need commissioners to approve that high bid at $190 per acre from Mr. Fosnaw.
Question. Second
What's that?
question.
Yep.
A few years ago, one of the commissioners, he used to be the FFA teacher at AC. I mean, I'm talking about
Kim?
Kim Fichter. Him and I, we talked one time, south of the jail, there's this yard, they mow out there. Then there's the property there, that farm. There's an old lane that goes down to the creek there. It's trees and it's just been rutted up over the years before the county ever bought the farm. Kim was going to look into having somebody come to Dozer, take the trees out, leveling it off, so we can just farm right through that and not have to deal with that old lane and everything. Would that ever be possible we could revisit that again and have that done?
It's up to the commissioners. I mean, you guys can maintain the property however you see fit, so that's up to you.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with exactly how that lays there. but-
Yeah, it's perfect. You can go out there right now. It's driver hold, across the field, look at everything. Yeah, it used to be back when the Miller farm used to be a lane that used to go over to the other side of the creek. Used to be a bridge there, so it just all wallowed out. Trees growed up and everything. You know, make it a lot better to have that cleared out. If that would be possible financially.
Steve, would you be interested in going out there with him and?
Sure.
And taking a look at that, and then you can come back and see what it would take to improve that spot.
Sure. I'll do that.
And make a recommendation on what we should do there, so.
I can get with you, here. I can give you my phone number, or I can get your phone number.
And my number should be on the paper here.
All right, I'll get with you here later in the week.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Andrew, for coming in. Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna go back to Rick. Yep, there he is.
Just give me a copy of that. Thank you.
Just update you on what went on last Saturday.
Sure.
Day started before 6. Power was off at 8:19.
You was out of here at noon, right?
Yeah. Got it back on at 8:19 that evening. Went well, long day. The next step with all this is getting Everpar here and Shamball and putting the batteries in the generator and getting things hooked up, coordinated. That's where we're at with it. I don't have that date set yet. Shamball is here now, getting some of their equipment out. Courthouse, we had everything, generator and everything running prior to yesterday's election, so that got done. I'll need to service that generator and stuff sometime in a fence. Maybe in the future, add to the generator. What I mean by that is put some of those offices on that generator. Right.
Cause that generator's big enough to handle more than just the clerk's office.
All that generator was to keep those servers running. For now, with time constraints. Good. Last week, you approved work's going on the hot water heater boiler steps. That's happening today. The elevator
At the courthouse?
here. The elevator, obviously the warranty's out on it, but then we got a service plan for it. But along the way, while that warranty was in, the buttons kind of kept sticking. I kind of kept harping about it. Well, they're gonna come and give us a whole new pan.
That's still under warranty.
It's not gonna cost us anything because there were so many write-ups about it during that time. So they're gonna redo that. I told him not yet until after tax time. I believe the 12th is the last day of next week.
Right.
So don't do, and it'd only be down about an hour, but still, I said, don't mess with it. So that's what's going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in between there, but those were the big things that were happening, so I want to make sure you guys knew what was going on.
So other than expanding what it serves, the generator at the courthouse is up and running and functional and,
Yes.
okay. And then to get this generator here functional, Everpar has to come in.
And Shamball, they'll be here at the same time. What they gotta determine is, the generator, is the power running clockwise or counterclockwise? That's why when the generator comes, they don't put the batteries in it, because they don't want anybody trying to even start it. But they'll determine that tech will, when he brings them batteries, and Shamball will be here. If they have to change something around, they'll do it, but it's outside.
Now, that's interesting.
You think you'd think there'd be a starter from the factory telling them what way it's running. You know, is the meter running clockwise, counterclockwise? Is it? They don't. That tech will know.
Yeah.
They tell me there shouldn't be any more outages during that process. The power should not be cut off. Steve, I think you had.
I did. I just noticed when I parked over in the far parking lot this morning that Shambaugh had some, looked like empty wire spools, maybe sitting where they're taking up a couple of parking
Yeah,
spaces.
They gotta get those.
Let's make sure they get those
They've
out of
been
there
a
with,
little while too. And
Yes.
I spoke to him probably 5 minutes before I came in here about.
good
getting that
deal.
out.
I know as tight as we are for parking,
Yeah.
we can't lose a couple of spaces to look like they're empty to me. They just
I
need to
think-
remove them.
We have more parking over there so people can park here at Jackson.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I noticed that lot was well used this morning.
Very good. Anything else for Rick? Because I think we had a question, but I think we're gonna go ahead and winterize the Bolton Meadows building. And we
Yeah.
talked about that a little
I
bit.
spoke to you a little bit, and I did talk to Sheriff about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and have that water blowed out in winter. So it'll be no heat, no water. Electricity still.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Rick. All right. Ian, what did you have for us today?
So, you're representing the opioid settlement steering committee as part of JRAC, Adams County. We had a request from the sheriff for use of unrestricted opioid settlement funds. That request was reviewed by the JRAC committee and voted in favor, all in favor to recommend to you the use of, it was $40,650 to be used out of the opioid settlement unrestricted funds to purchase 2 drones for the sheriff's department. We had discussion about the use of the funds. We confirmed with the Attorney General's office that unrestricted means unrestricted. And so we aren't violating any rules of what those funds are to be used for. The committee discussed, how could it be used and tied towards what that money was originally brought in for, right? Opioid, things of that use. We talked about it could be used to look for marijuana grows. It could be used inside buildings to look for meth labs. We also talked about positive things such as if there was an active shooter in a school or at Walmart, that drone could be used inside. One of those drones could be used inside that building and save lives. And so basically I asked Sheriff to answer any questions because that's pretty much all I know, but it's 2 drones, $40,650 for the 2. One is an inside and one is an outside use drone. Sheriff?
Yeah, like I said, outside it's a larger drone. It can be flown in harsher weather, even in some rain aspects of it. It's got thermal imaging, it's got zoom capabilities. The smaller drone is made for inside. The propellers are protected. It can bounce off walls. It can be used in search warrants instead of setting an officer in or a K-9. It can be used in a barricaded subject. The outside drone, we also can look, we've had since I've been in office 4 occasions where a drone could be used looking for missing kids out in farm fields, endangered adults that walk away. We've called other agencies over for their drone, but it's a wide use, something that we need. And honestly, I got the idea from other sheriffs who have done the same process going through the unrestricted funds to be able to get those. I'm also going to probably host a class in the spring to where 2 of our people will be able to go through the class for free and to be certified to fly and operate the drones.
That's what I was gonna ask you, what the qualifications to fly.
Yeah, basically, law enforcement has some exemptions to where you can fly over people and stuff like that. However, I don't want that. I want them to be licensed operators and stuff, so they'll be going through a 40-hour class in the spring. So we'll order, if it's approved, we'll order. I don't know what I think it's a 4 to 6 week turnaround time, but they won't be operational until we get certified in the operation of them.
Does that $40,000 number include the training?
Actually, I had something worked out for one operator to get free training, but if I host the class, then we get 2 operators through.
Oh,
So
okay.
I can have a primary and a secondary officer, and the training will be free if I host the class for us,
Good.
which I plan on doing hopefully in the spring.
All right, any questions on that?
No, I know we talked about this before, and I just want to make sure that the opioid steering committee was in agreement with that. So I appreciate the fact that you guys took a look at it, that you support that, and I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, very good.
We'll go before council then next week and ask for them to appropriate the
Cool.
funds.
Thank you.
I'll be deputy sheriff, right?
Correct.
Okay, good.
Correct.
Okay.
2 drones, one is a larger outside and one is a smaller for inside operations.
All right, Tom, what do you have for us today?
A while back, I talked to you guys about the proper draw things that we signed up for. What I would like to propose, if you guys would be willing, is put a flyer, and this is basically, other than I think I put it on my letterhead, basically talking about the 2 different property watch routes that we have now in the county to sign up. And I'd like to put it next year's tax bill, so the taxpayer gets it through the mailing. I just wanted to need your approval to do that. Like I said, I'll probably.
Did you have one from Mark? Didn't we talk about this?
We signed up. We were okay to sign up. The property draw.
Mark, need one.
What's that? Property draw. When we signed up for how.
The thing we signed up for that people can, that's already been approved now, it's wanting to put the inserts into the tax bills in 25.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Makes sense to me. I'm motion to approve.
Second. Just kind of fill you in on the update on my back scanning and indexing. I just turned over basically everything from day one to my software company. So I'm in line to hopefully get, and hopefully by the time tax bills come out, if not all, most of it will be online so they can easily sign up for it. So also to keep you informed, this has popped up this week. As of November 1st, I have become part of the executive board at the AAC. I sat on the board before, but now I'm the executive board, so I'd be like, I move up. But one thing they're going to propose to all counties is to, for a better GIS, they want to drill down to 3-inch imaging instead of 6. And they want to do a statewide. Just kind of give you a heads up, our portion would be about $4,696. And if the state doesn't cover it, that'd be our portion.
Is that for the state flyovers?
Yeah.
Because I think we've contracted with a private company.
Right.
Because state
But
flyovers.
the normal flyover was like down to 6, they want to go down to 3, and if the state does it all at once, it's like $500,000. If each county does it, it's like $7 million. By the states. I don't know if this is going through, I'm just kind of keeping up to speed on it.
'Cause I
This
think
is through the
Ethan-
IIC.
Ethan and Mary have kind of been
Right.
taking that under their wings. So-
Well, I know Jared from Wells County, the surveyor over there, is kind of heading it up
Oh, is
for
it?
this,
Okay.
so. It's for the drainage too. It's not just for GIS, it's for drainage also.
Sure.
But I just say our portion would be, because you're going by land mass on the cost, Allen County would be the highest cost. We'd be about the 20th lowest, I think it was, or, so. But if they do, they talk about, they would take it out of our local option income tax from the state. So we would not have to pay it, we just don't get as much. So, okay,
Thanks, Tom.
thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Sheets, do you have a recommendation for us on the burn ban? So,
I'm sorry, Stan, I didn't hear everything you said.
do you have a recommendation
Yes,
for
we
us?
recommend that you lift the burn ban.
Okay.
And thank you for working with us. I know
Yeah.
in the last week, about every department had a woods fire of some type.
Wow.
So, and it was people, so, yeah. but we thank you for working with us.
Yeah, well, thanks for your recommendation. I appreciate that. You know, when it was as dry as it was, and corn in the fields, dry leaves in the woods, it's like, it's crazy to start anything on fire, so.
Yes.
Okay. Well, do you want us to continue to review it every week? I don't
Well,
know.
I think if you lift it, no, we'll just repeal the ordinance, and if we get back in this situation, let us know.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Hey,
Very
Jim, how much rain fell over that?
You want ordinance that is?
Okay, I didn't know what it was.
The amended one is 2024-21.
So let's take action on that.
Yeah,
And I would accept the
2024-21.
motion to repeal the burn ban. And on ordinance number.
2024-21.
It'd be a motion to repeal ordinance 2024-21.
Make a motion to repeal ordinance 2024-21.
Second.
Okay, very good. I both favor that, so.
All right.
All right. Mark, did you have anything for us?
I don't think so.
Was today the final day for, to receive bids on the Council on Aging?
No, we're receiving those bids next Tuesday.
When did that change?
I talked to Mark last week because they needed more time, I guess.
I didn't know.
Yep.
You know, while Michelle is here and Mark is here, I do have a question. Because the state, the NDOT grant, makes the title holder of your vehicles as the county commissioners in order to get that money, that whole thing they did. We actually have that title. You have the vehicle. My question to Mark would be, when we get audited next time, and if they pull that and say, okay, show us this vehicle because it's in the title of commissioners, could that create a whole bunch of issues, or should the commissioners sign that over? Is that even possible? Well, how should we,
We just hold the title.
because they're going to want the paper trail on,
Commissioners hold the title, and as far as that goes, we could do a lease.
We have a
because they
lease-
paid the money. Council on Aging
We
paid
have
the
a
money.
lease signed with you guys.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we have a proper paper trail for everything.
I can send
Since
it to you again if you guys need another copy.
do that just in case. They'll ask, all they ask for is the paper trail. They'll say, wait a minute, you have the title, but you didn't pay for it. So if we have that to present to them, I think we'll be okay. Thank you.
That's fine.
Yep, so next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thanks for coming in, Michelle.
Yep, I just wanted to hear what they were.
All right.
Glad you had that question. You didn't answer anyway, so.
Yeah. Shannon, did you have anything for us today? All right. All right. Anybody else have any reports or?
I see Barb out there. I have a question for Barb, if that's okay, Stan.
Yeah.
Talking about the burn ban, and I sent you an email this morning, but one of the things that I think we struggled with was getting that word out that there was a burn ban. You know, we have newspapers here, we have radio. I don't know how many people read the newspaper and listen to the radio in Adams County. So I sent you that. Somebody sent me something and talked about having a communication system that would come over our phones or whatever for emergency communications. And you mentioned having Textcaster. Would that be an effective way for us to communicate with the residents of Adams County if there's some kind of an emergency event that goes on?
I think the only issue that we have with that is that we have to pay based on the number of subscribers.
Okay.
So it costs us significantly more money than it does now. I don't think we're ineffective, let me put it that way, but it would solely depend on the amount of users that we had and the willingness of residents to participate.
They would have to sign up for that, right? It wouldn't be like now when I get an alert on my phone, an Amber Alert or whatever, that comes to my phone, that wouldn't be that way.
Correct.
Okay.
No, it's
Is there any kind of a system that would allow us to communicate with residents in a manner such as that you're aware of in the event of some kind of a natural disaster or I don't know whether a burn ban would rise to the level of us wanting to do that or not, but just kind of, yeah, I mean, it's hit my inbox and we were talking about burn ban and we were talking about the fact that a lot of the folks didn't know there was a burn ban and we've talked about it. It's been in the papers, it's been on the radio. We've kind of exhausted all of our existing ways to communicate. What else is there that we should be thinking about? Maybe that's the challenge back to you and your team is how should we be thinking about communicating those levels of significant interest to the residents of Adams County?
There are different types of equipment or processes that could do that for us. And a lot of the other counties in our district use one or the other of them. So we can check into that along with Sheriff and see where he wants to go with this. In the past, we had a system that was called Everbridge. Everbridge did exactly that. It sent out messages. It automatically sent out messages to every landline in the county, but people with cell phones had to sign up for it. It cost us $12,000 a year for this service. And we did not, I think we had it 3 years.
3 years, I think we had less than 5% of our cell phone population sign up.
Yeah, I can see that.
Now, Steve, there is some systems like Allen County, when it comes to Amber Alerts, that you can pay that will automatically set it. You can geofence an area, and every cell phone from all the carriers, you get it. But I'll have to look, but I think that is for like emergencies. And I'm not sure, like I said, the burn ban would qualify for them to do that. It's very controlled of what you can do that for.
And I wouldn't want it to be, honestly, I don't want to get those things on my phone if they're not, if it doesn't rise to that level of a, oh my gosh, everybody needs to know about this right now.
Right.
But I felt like that the burn ban, we struggled to get that word out. And the way people get their information delivered to them anymore today is so much different than it was even just 10 years ago. Maybe we need to be thinking about something again. So just
We'll get together.
help us understand.
We'll do some checking and see what's available.
Thank you.
What about something like what we did with the solar eclipse, where we reached out to like the news stations to see if they could do something along those lines, running something for the evening stories?
I don't know. I don't know how we do it.
They might post it on their websites, but they're not going to televise that type of information.
When the EMA put it on IDH's website, we were on a burn
Right.
ban. News Channel 15 broadcasted that because I happened to catch it that night on the night.
I did see that as well. So that, but I watch news. I watch the news. So that's, I know not everybody, most people don't do that anymore, but I still do.
Yeah, we will work with Sheriff Dan and see. what-
Again, maybe there's not anything we can do above beyond what we're doing now. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something we were missing.
We had front page stories.
I know you guys did a great job of covering it for us.
Top pulled right
Yeah.
now.
Thanks, Stan. That was just all I had.
Okay. Steve, do you have anything?
Nope. I'm sorry, I do have one more. I want to make a comment because I've been so critical of our broadband service that is delivered to the county. Watch Communication, Community Fiber Solutions have been working directly with Mike Brown and I think have made some strides in improving that I'm talking about the delivery of broadband communication to our county government. So I've been critical of them in the past. I wanted to say thank you. Kevin Nelson especially has taken that as a challenge. He's out of the Cincinnati office. He's worked directly with Mike. They've improved the redundancy of the relay that they've got in Monroe. And so I just want to say thank you publicly to Watch and Community Fiber for taking that as a challenge to help us get better in that area and delivering on that challenge. We probably aren't great yet, but we're better than we were.
Very good. Well, Watch, I think, was our first fiber service coming into the county, and they've been with us the longest, so that's good to see them step up their game.
Yep.
So, all right, the general public, anybody else have anything for us? If not, I accept a motion to